Till now, we have covered introduction, clinical part, and today we're going to cover classification. From classification, we'll go on technical documentation, and finally, we'll how to the process to get approval in European Union. That will be the last. So, uh, just give me a Uh, what is the purpose for medical device classifications? Classification of medical device in use by the EU medical legislation is a risk-based system, taking into account that vulnerability of the human body and potential risk associated with the device. The approach uses a set of criteria that can be controlled in a various way in order to determine classification: duration of contact, degree of invasiveness, local versus systemic effect, potential toxicity, and the part of the body affected by the use of medical device. Actually, it is basically depend on risk. Based on how can you classify the risk associated with the device? Classification is only to denote the risk associated with the device, and to do the classification we have certain criteria. We have selected certain criteria, and those criteria are given in the legislation or regulation. What are the criteria? Duration of contact. That means up to what minute or hour or days the device is in contact with the body. Degree of invasiveness, degree of either it will be completely penetrated or remain on the surface of the body, or its effect is local or systemic. Local means the part where the device is applied. Systemic means that throughout the systemic I think those devices which came in contact with the body fluid, they have the systemic effect. And the next is potential toxicity and the part of body affected by the use of device. These are the criteria which can define how you can classify a medical device. How to carry out classification? Now we know that these are the point when you are going to classify our medical device. These are the point we have to take in consideration: the how duration of contact, degree of invasiveness, local and systemic effect, potential toxicity, and the part of body affected by the use of medical device. We know we have to take care of these 4 points. But how we can do the classification? It is required that we understand to classify a device in a good way or in an ethical way. Here's the how to carry out classification. The section is aimed at presenting definition and terms useful for the classification of the uh, device based on the application of the classification principle and rules. Basic terms, we have some terms and definition we need to understand before going to classification. And those terms are a specific medical purpose is specified in the manufacturer for those listed in indents of Article 2.1 MDR. It's Article 2, Section 1, or you can say point 1. Article 2.1, there is some specific medical purpose that I have a medical device. I have those, and the intended purpose of the medical device is defined, but there is some specific that is also with that medical device only. It is not mandatory that this intended purpose is with all the medical device, but it is specific to that only medical device. So how can we find a specific medical purpose device is as per according Article 2.1 of MDR. And I have to shown you how you can go through the different articles of MDR or section of MDR. Now, duration of use. Transient, normally intended for continuous use for less than 60 minutes. Device which are intended to use for less than 60 minutes, a time frame is defined. Those devices which are continuously used but for a period of 60 minutes or less than a 60 minutes, it is not above 60 minutes. Then it's transient, short term device which is in continuous use for more than 60 minutes but less than 30 minutes. That means more than 60 minutes but less than 30 minutes. If I have a device that whose use or duration of use will be 1 hour 10 minutes, then in which part we can give it? We can give that in short term. It is not transient. Any device which has a duration of use more than 60 minutes, that comes under the short term, not in the transient. Any of the medical device which have duration of use less than 60 minutes, those come under the category of transient. Then comes long term, normally intended for continuous use more than 30 days. If the medical device has a duration of its use or time for duration of use more than 30 days, that means I have to use that medical device for a period of 2 months or for a period of 1 month and 5 days. That comes under.
Want to make your career in pharma? Then start learning from our experts and discover new career options. Define Academy builds essential quality for pharma.